I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everybody. Mark, the Controversial Christian here. How's everybody doing today? Day 29 of the new year. I'm feeling pretty good. The wife went to the doctor's yesterday for a follow-up. They give her a couple of shots. She had a little bit of stuff in her lungs. They said it was starting pneumonia, so they give her a shot to clear it up.
Pneumonia.
Yep. And I feel pretty good. I've been taking my CBD oil, and I've been taking supplements too. I'll leave a link. All right, today is the 29th day of January. 29 days of COVID. For us, anyways. It's been going on for about a year now. The pandemic. Officially, it started, I think, in March of last year. But, anyways, I'm going to read our opening prayer. O King of glory and Lord of valors, who hast said, "Be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. Be victorious in me, your servant. Grant your compassion to go before me in your undertakings, behind me in your endings. And what will I now say, unless that your will be done? Whose wills that all shall be saved? Your will is my salvation, my glory, my joy." All right, here's our Walking with God reading for our daily devotion. January 29th. Walking by faith. We walk by faith, not by sight. Imagine you've gone through a difficult experience in your life and you're fearful of what the future might hold. We all seem to be going through that right now. We have no idea what's going on here. To encourage you, a friend says, "You can do it, one day at a time." Remember, just walk by religion, not by sight. Walk by religion? To a biblically literate Christian, the very sound of that phrase is off-putting, to say the least. You probably know what Paul really said in 2 Corinthians 5:7. We walk by faith, not by sight. But even the idea of walking by faith seems contrary to common sense. If we walk by religion, we would at least have a tangible structure. Things that are seen to pin our hopes on, buildings, tradition, schedules, liturgies, ministers, and the like. If we walk by faith, we have only the promise of God. But we also have the evidence of things not seen. We not only have God's promises, but we also have the evidence from thousands of years of history that He has kept His promise to those who trust Him. And He will keep His promises for you. If you are facing an uncertain future, and who isn't, remember to walk by faith in God, who promises He will never leave you nor forsake you. If you are walking by faith means being prepared to trust where we are not permitted to see. That's from John Blanchard. All right. Today, I want to talk a little bit about Main Street versus Wall Street. I was watching Fox News this morning, which I like Fox News. They tell it like it is. And apparently these people got together on Twitter, and I think it's GameStop, the stock that everybody got together on Twitter and they all put money in to raise the price of GameStop, because all these big shot hedge funds were shorting it. Well, they managed to get the price up, and all these big shot hedge funds lost billions of dollars, and now they're all mad about it. But yet they've been doing the same thing to us for years. I mean, the government's been funneling money into Wall Street for years because a lot of them own stock in these companies that Wall Street trades on. So they've been making money and siphoning money from us to Wall Street. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, they don't like it. There was this guy on there saying, oh, well, you know, you're going against the rich people, you know, you're terrorizing them, or whatever the guy said about it. Well, how's it feel? The shoe is on the other foot and you don't like it. You know, I've been saying for years that the small guy needs to come together. We all need to band together. And we need to promote each other's businesses. If you're trading online, you know, seek out the smaller, you know, platforms to trade on. Because a lot of these people that own these platforms and like that, like what was that, Robinhood, I believe it was. They stopped trading. You know, these guys, they ran the price. These Main Street traders ran the price up, and then when it went all the way up, then they shorted it, and it went back down again. So these big shots on Wall Street are losing all this money. You know, I know it trickles down to other people that, you know, play the stock market too. But a lot of these people are all professional traders, you know, and they've been making money off us little guys for years. And now the shoe's on the other foot. You know, it's, oh no, you guys can't do that. You're targeting the rich. No, we're not. We're not. I wish I would have got in on that, but I was busy doing other stuff and I didn't really get a chance. Because I used to trade currencies. I still dabble in it once in a while. You know, and I would read all the information that they had on the U.S. and the euro or like that, and I would, you know, I would look for the information to come out on it, the news, and I would follow that. I would read that, and I would say, wow, you know, this, I'm going to short the dollar against the euro or like that. So I would do that, and you know that money would start going up in my favor. Yeah, all of a sudden, bang! These big traders come in, and they short it, and we all lose money, and they do it on purpose. But now that it's doing against them, they don't like it. Well, that's, you know, us little guys got to stick together just like they did on Reddit there. We need to get little groups like that. Just like they banned Donald Trump from Twitter and all them other platforms. Well, then why don't we just start our own platforms, you know? All these big businesses like Amazon. I mean, they're making billions and billions of dollars. You know, I'm a member of this group that people sell on Amazon. I don't sell on Amazon. I used to sell on Amazon, but their fees are so high, you know, like 20% I think they charge. And I'm a member of this group of these people that sell on Amazon. And I'm telling you, you ought to see all the horror stories. I mean, they lock their accounts up. You know, if they send something in, well, one guy, they lost a lot of his products, and he don't know how to get it back, or, you know, you'll sell something, and, oh, the price is too high. They say, so they lock you. You know, who are they to say what we can sell something for? I mean, I can see if you're really gouging people, but if you're trying to make a buck on there, or, you know, you're on there selling something, and then somebody from another country copies it, and you tell them about it, well, it takes them forever to you know, investigate it and like that. And they're stealing money from you. This other company is. And then finally, when they get out, they kick them out. What they do is they just turn around and open up another account in a different name and do the same thing all over again. You know, that's how these scammers work. You know, we need to start, the little guys need to come together and start their own Amazon or eBay or something. Now, I do sell on eBay. You know, I haven't had any trouble with eBay. One time they froze my PayPal account because some guy didn't get his product right away, and he complained about it. But that was, around the holiday time when things were slow. But he finally got his product, and I got my money. They unfroze my account, which I'm glad I didn't have a whole lot in there, but I had a couple $100 in there. I was going to use that for Christmas presents. Excuse me. But, so we need to come together and form our own, smaller little companies, because a lot of these big companies are trying monopolies like Google. I mean, they've got the search sewed up. We used to have some of these other ones. I can't remember. I was in one search 7 or something. I can't remember what it was. But Google put all these other ones out of business. Even, Bing's not even as big as them. I like to use Bing because some of the keywords and like that they only charge you like a nickel, for a click. Where Google, they're, $50, $100 for some of these keywords. Some of these big businesses can afford that, but little guys like us we can't afford that stuff. We're barely just getting by. They close all these small businesses, but yet Walmart can be open. I was at one, I think I said this on one of my other videos, Five Below. I was there at Christmas. That place was so packed you couldn't, and a lot of people weren't even wearing masks or anything. That was just a little bit before Christmas. But it's okay for them, to be open, but mom and pop and Main Street can't be open, The bars can't be open. But yet they said that, a lot of this stuff, this COVID, as long as you social distance, wear your mask and like that, it won't be transmitted as much in places like that. And then now they're trying to reopen the schools again. A lot of these teachers don't want to go back. Well, they say that the schools, it's not transmitted as much in the schools as it is, say, like in public.
I don't see how that can be.
What's that?
How it's not transmitted.
Yeah, I know. They're saying one thing, but yet they're doing another. Just like Joe Biden says that, well, we're going to create all these great paying jobs, but yet he just wiped out, almost 50,000 jobs. Good paying jobs because they're fossil fuel jobs. Well, we've had fossil fuels around for years while they're trying to protect the ozone and like that. That these companies that make these batteries for these electric cars and like that, they're digging up the earth. They're they're using equipment, fossil fuels to drive their equipment. And solar equipment. Oh my! Do you ever seen a house with solar panels on it? Some of them, it makes your house look unsightly. Or these big wind turbines. I've seen. Where was that, Sherry? What was it, Indiana or somewhere? When we went up through there, we seen all them wind turbines. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if that was.
I think that was in Indiana. There was hundreds of them just all in this field, and it looks unsightly.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Well, I thought it looked. That's all these big windmills, like that. Yeah, it's delivering electricity, but they still got
to. In my yard.
They still got to manufacture this stuff. They're giving big tax credits to people that have solar. I don't want no solar panels on my house. They promote it and say, well, all the electricity that you don't use, you can sell back to the electric company. Well, I'm telling you, you're going to have an awful lot of solar panels to produce enough electricity to sell it back to them. Because, the average house, we got like a 200 amp system in our house. You're going to use quite a bit of electricity to run your house. We've got refrigerators here, freezers, we've got, lights, fans, AC, heat system. That takes a lot of electricity. And then everything goes to the batteries, and then from the batteries, it changes over to AC, from DC to AC. That takes a lot. Plus, after a while, how long do them batteries last? Average car battery is about 3 or 4 years. It's done. So how long is them batteries going to last? And I guarantee them batteries are expensive. I mean, look at the batteries in these electric cars. They're very expensive. And what do you do with them when, you recycle them? Some of these, and what about, all the resources it takes to make one of these batteries? I mean, they got lead in them or something? I'm not really exactly sure. I know car batteries got lead in them. But, they got plastic. You've got acid in them, unless it's a dry cell battery. But, it still takes carbon. You got to dig out, this stuff has got to be dug out of the earth. It don't just, come up automatically. This is the problem with their thinking. Well, they got a hole in the ozone layer. Well, I don't know if that's really true or not. I mean, I really can't say because I'm not a scientist. All this global warming they're talking about. I'll tell you walk outside here in Tennessee today, see what global warming is. It's pretty cold out there. And they're saying, well, this ice is melting here. Yeah, the earth goes, just like some scientists say, the earth goes through cycles. Others say, well, it's global warming. But who do you believe, Unless you have real, genuine facts for yourself, you really don't know, what's going on. I mean, a lot of these people could be saying that because they're making money off of global warming. Well, you got to, and the government puts all these regulations on. So, who do you really believe? Like my grandfather used to say, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, which is a true statement. Because, somebody could tell you one thing, but, they could be lying. And it's like the media. They're only going to tell you what they want you to hear. A lot of them are like that. Your best bet is to do the research yourself and find out what's going on here. And also, us little guys, like I said before, we need to stick together. We need to help each other out. Visit somebody's websites, visit their business. Main Street will help you more than Wall Street will ever help you, unless you're a big-time investor. But the little guy can also get in there too. They proved that on Reddit with that GameStop stock. They can control the market too, just like the big conglomerates can. They've been doing this a long time, and finally when people fight back, they don't like it. Well, that's too bad, because what's fair for you is also fair for us too. So, I mean, let's start our own little Amazons or eBays, or car companies, like a lot of them, excuse me, there used to be a lot of car companies years ago, but the big ones put them out of business. Well, and then we got Tesla Motors, which I believe is an electric car company. But this guy here got really big too. I mean, he's into all kinds of stuff too. We need to start some smaller businesses. The smaller manufacturing, like where I live around here, there's a lot of small manufacturers around here. There used to be a lot more, but a lot of them, they went out of business and moved to Mexico or whatever. As soon as they started this, fair trade deal, whatever it is, I think Bill Clinton or somebody started it. One of them presidents did. A lot of our jobs went overseas because of Wall Street. They funnel all this money into Wall Street, and they send everything over there because it makes them more money. It's all about the money. They don't care about people. They just care about the money. That's all they want. The more money they get, the more they want. Look at there's people in the world starving. The pandemic, a lot of these companies are making big money now because of the pandemic. They don't want to help anybody else out. They don't care about you or me. They only care about them and their shareholders. Well, let's be our own shareholders. Let's start Me and You, Inc. I commend these people on Reddit. I want to shake your hand because, you're fighting back against the establishment and they don't like it. It's just like Donald Trump was fighting back against the establishment. They didn't like it either. They been trying to get him out of office the day he got in there. It's all, the good old boy, you know. That's all they want. They just want to control everything. The Democrats now got control. And Joe Biden's, he signed more executive orders than any president in history ever has in his first week. You know, he's putting people out of work. Now he's going to stop, construction on the wall. Now he's going to let all these illegal immigrants stay here. I mean, no, let's not do that. If they want to stay here, let them do it legally. You know, that's what they do. They'll come over here, and then they'll mooch off our welfare system. We can't have that. You know, we can barely afford to take care of ourselves, let alone, all these people from all these other countries coming here. And who knows what kind of diseases they're bringing. Who knows if terrorists are sneaking in there with them. These people are tricky. They play on our sympathy. Stand up for yourselves. Enough is enough. This is Mark, the Controversial Christian. I'm going to say my closing prayer. 29th day of January, 29th day of the new year. O God, with whom there is no darkness, but the night shines as the day. Keep and defend us and all your children. We beseech you throughout the coming night. Renew our hearts with your forgiveness and our bodies with your untroubled sleep, that we may wake to use more faithfully your gift of life through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen, everybody. Y'all have a blessed day. Shop and buy locally. Visit mom and pop websites. Buy from them. I know Amazon started out as a mom and pop business, but they grew so big just like eBay. I used to sell a lot on eBay years ago, but then they got, it got out of everybody was starting to sell on there. They sell the same thing. They don't undercut you. It's cutthroat. Live and let live. We love you. Have a blessed day. Mark, the Controversial Christian, signing off.